Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology Podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jen Meow 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 Graves. And today we're talking about Lazarus Episode 4, Don't Stop the Dance. I can't talk tonight. The dance.
I was thinking of a different thing, like an intro for you and be like, hey, it's me, Mike. Why am I dressed like a girl at the party? Mike.
I have to say, I really like this episode.
I agree. I think this one was one of the better episodes we've watched out of the series.
I think it's one of the best episodes so far that we've watched out of the four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I only have one quick complaint on it.
Okay, what is that?
We didn't have one of those snarky, hilarious things where Axel, said something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, we're the police. Or, Lazarus, put your hands up. Or anything like that. We didn't have that from him this time.
No, we did not. We really did not. But, I mean, maybe next time. You never know. They were all kind of serious when they got to the thing.
Yeah,
I got to the club.
And closer to the end of this, I almost had to ask you about the little, the drone thingy.
Did that look like the swordfish to you? Because it looked like the swordfish from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, well, so it was it looked like that to me or like the Bloodwing from the MCU.
Oh,
like a bigger version.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what. Or Red Wing?
Yeah, Red Wing.
Bloodwing.
Bloodwing's, what's it called? Borderlands.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Bloodwing is the hawk.
Yeah,
thing.
I meant Red Wing, though, so you're good.
No, I definitely gave off big swordfish vibes for me.
No, I was sitting there and I was like, wait, hold on a second. Where's the big round one? Like we saw in episode 1. And I was going to ask you, be like, wait, what is it? And I was like, oh, wait, it's a different car. Okay.
I know they were using a different car in this one.
Yeah. So it threw me off because I was like, wait a minute. Where's the circular one? I don't see that one sitting on top of the thing either. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's a different car. Okay, so they're going to have different
Yeah, I think they have, because I think when we got to their hideout, they had a thing and it held their cars in it. I think they only had 2 cars.
Yeah.
One was blue and I think one was orange.
Yeah, this was the orange one. I think the blue one's the one with the big, because the blue one's got a white top to it.
Yeah, I think that's the one that had the other drone in it.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, we start this out with the gang finding more out about the hacker, I think it was.
Yeah, the 909, Mr. 909.
Dr. 909.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they don't really know much about him, very much a mystery, but he has been getting transactions from his bank account from somewhere else, I believe.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, well, we got to go check out this guy named Sam. He's like a nightclub influencer. And he's all about the Hapna and stuff. And they think this might be a connection to Skinner himself,
Yeah, which I think they tracked Dr. 909 back to him.
I think they did, yeah. And I have to say, I love the part when they pull him up on social media and they're like, ugh, I can't believe this guy is posting all this stuff. He's one of those guys, which very much felt relatable when scrolling through reels and stuff. And you're like, I can't believe this kind of guy is on here, being a celebrity,
Yeah.
He's very much a skis ball, I feel like, a scumbag.
Yeah, when we get to that point.
But I mean, he still gives off kind of scumbag energy, I feel like, because he has his boys with their all matching barcode glow-in-the-dark tattoos they have going on,
Yeah, which that was kind of weird.
That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. But they all decide to get all dressed up and go to Sam's club, while the other two stay behind to do more research on Doctor 909. And what happens next, Jen?
They decide who's going to do what, and so everybody has to like dress up and whatnot, which is kind of funny because obviously Axel almost looks exactly like, he may have had a different T-shirt. That's probably about it.
He looks kind of like Lupin. He gave me Lupin vibes, like the way
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
dressed.
Well, and that's funny you say that. So he kind of gave me Lupin vibes, and then obviously we had I can't remember her name.
Chris.
She was kind of like borderline like Faye a little bit.
Or Fujiko, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And then Doug. I knew I was going to get that one. Doug almost seemed like he is dressed up like a preacher, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, because he had like that high collar going for him and stuff. He was wearing like a suit.
Yeah, it was all black. So I you had that.
And then we get the shocker.
Yeah, we did.
The shocker of Leland is now Laura, and he is pretending to be a girl because they don't know what kind of girls Sam likes.
And he almost looks like Alice in Wonderland.
For like making him dress up like a girl, like they picked like the most, I don't want to say like gaudiest looking anime dress I think I've ever seen. Like it was like had the big flower on the side and like the stripe going down or whatever. Like I'm like, y'all couldn't like pick anything better? Like
yeah.
Which at first I thought it might have been the hacker girl, but I was sadly mistaken. It wasn't that.
That's what I thought too. And then Leland started talking, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, yeah. He's like, "Why did I have to dress up like a girl?" Because Leland, you're the one who looks the most feminine, I guess.
I think it was because he was the tiniest one.
Maybe, probably, yeah. But they have to pretend to like be a couple, which they're not necessarily all happy with. Pretending to be a couple to get into this bar or this club.
Definitely driving Miss Daisy vibes with that one.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Him and Doug, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, they're like, oh, fine, whatever. And they get there, and they kind of start mingling and socializing and whatnot. And like Doug starts scoping out the security. Axel just tries to get up into the VIP room. Like they're all mingling and whatnot. And what happens is...
Well, and I have to say I really enjoyed that part because you had where Axel kind of acted clumsy and Doug like backed in so he could like get a good look. And so they both kind of acted like they weren't doing anything, but like clearly you knew like what they were doing to get information. And it was funny because, I mean, that's what you would think like an actual spy like 007 would do.
Yeah, because I believe Doug like bumped into him and like looked at his like the gun he had in his holster, I believe it was, or like what he was packing. And Axel was kind of like being nosy about like, oh, like who has tattoos, like what's going on, and checking on Chris to like, get information because she was kind of downing him back. She was, because they were really excited. There was a special DJ named Visionary who was going to be there.
Yeah.
And they're kind of hanging out and whatnot, and Leland surprisingly gets grabbed and picked to go to the VIP room.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, okay, I see where this might be going.
And Chris was not.
Chris was not happy. She was like, what does Leland have that I don't have? I don't know. Maybe he's just not looking a little desperate like you are.
Right.
Which was pretty fun to see, like, her get like kind of upset about it and kind of bummed out because she seemed to like kind of fanboy a little bit. I don't know if that was an act or not, but sort of fanboy about the situation of being like back in the club, and reliving old like times of hanging out and partying and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of seemed like a little bit.
And then we find that out about her. I mean, she is the biggest, like,
Oh, oh yeah. When we get to it,
she,
yeah.
well, I mean, whenever she was drinking the alcohol, we knew because it
Oh
was
yeah.
like, hey, aren't you going a little strong on that? And she's like, no, this is like, like foreplay for me.
Yeah, which is really funny for what happens later on.
Yeah.
And so she ends up going in with Leland, like cutting in all the lines to go up to the VIP room. She's like, oh, this is fun. Like, my name's Chris. This is Laura, I believe they called Leland. Laura, and they're like, we don't care what your names are. We're not going to remember that, which these guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes. And they're like, oh, come on, let's come hang out with us. And she's all kind of like, I don't know if she was getting into it, but kind of gathering information. Like, they're like, oh, are you doing like stocks and stuff? And they're like, no, we have AI that does that for us to make the money. We don't do anything. And then we see Visionary show up, and he kind of takes a liking to Leland, and they
Yeah.
go off and kind of talk. And he's like, I like a girl who is a little more innocent and like untouched. And I was like, oh, you're one of those people. I
Yeah.
was like,
I
ugh.
I had a question for a second because when
Okay.
he was saying that stuff or whatever, I was like, this guy is one of those guys that goes after teenage girls, isn't he?
Yeah, no, that's what I kind of thought, because he was like, Leland looked very innocent looking, very timid.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, let's go over here and kind of talk. And Leland was like, oh, don't you have to go do a show soon? He's like, oh, don't worry. The AI does most of it for me. And when he goes to leave to go do the show, he tells the guy, hey, don't let this chick leave. I'm coming back.
Yeah. And that was creepy as shit too.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. Like,
But we
go ahead. Hello?
hello?
Yeah, you cut out there for a minute.
You cut out there for a second.
Okay, okay. Anyways, let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Uh I forgot what I was gonna say.
Creepy guy. Creepy AI.
Oh. Well, so before that, when we were kind of going back to base, we were talking about how all these different places were where the money kept getting deposited and like
Yes.
sent and everything. And they were trying to figure out, oh, well, who's doing that? And they kind of got to see like an outline image of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then we had this part that was kind of where it rounded up around that.
Yeah. And they find out who actually is Dr. 909. They figure out that it actually is Visionary, and he has been getting like the different deposits throughout the world, collecting all this money and whatnot.
No, I think what it is though is Dr. 909 is the other guy and Visionary is just himself.
Really? Because they said it was Visionary.
Well, the person dropping the money off is Visionary.
Oh,
I think
okay.
though that Dr. 909 is the other guy.
Oh, okay.
And Visionary is how he kind of gets all his money deposited.
Okay.
So they work together on all that shit.
And so they start putting two things together. They find this out. And this is where we get to the really creepy part. The really creepy part where they're like, okay, it's punch time. And we have this big, like, immaculate punch bowl with all this stuff in it, like fruit and whatever they have in it. and
Yeah.
all the girls go after it and drink it. We don't see any of the guys drink it, and it's like spiked with like drugs,
Tons of drugs.
and like all the girls get knocked out. Even Chris Leland, unfortunately, doesn't have drinks. Um,
I don't think Chris really got knocked out. I think she faked it the whole time.
I think she faked it too. And they're like, okay, guys, let's go to town. So, like, sexual assault city, time to go. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, this is in public that they're doing this. Because they're in a,
In the in Yeah, in the VIP room.
yeah, yeah. They're like, okay, let's round them up, like get what you want, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so glad they didn't go any further with this, and it really stopped at this point.
Yeah, because that was a little weird.
It was a little weird, but we find out that Chris actually the drugs don't affect her because she's fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
And she's like, this was child's play compared to what I've done.
I can't believe you bought these cheap ass drugs.
Yeah, and she just beats the shit out of this guy, and which was so cool to see. Like, I kind of like it that she played possum, and she didn't get taken advantage of. Like, that was like my worst fear, was like they were gonna have that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that they twisted it, and she was like, "I know I got one up on you." And this is where we get probably one of the coolest scenes of this anime so far. We get to see all of the different characters, like, fight and stuff. It's not just Axel. It's like Axel, Doug, Chris. No Leland, because Leland's not a fighter. But like just seeing them, how they work, and like how they work together in
I
tandem
mean,
and
we know
stuff like that.
Leland's the plane flyer.
Yeah, he's like the tech. He's the field tech, if one would say.
Yeah.
He's like the tech guy in the field. But I
Yeah.
loved seeing like them all come together and working together for a single goal, because this very much was like an ensemble episode where like everybody was working together, which I like. We got to see more of the other characters do stuff,
Yeah.
which I liked. And I love this one scene. It was towards the end where like uh, they were going after Visionary and Sam. Because they were gonna go after him in like they're gonna like go after like and like escape from in a helicopter.
Yeah.
And we see the scene where I think it was Axel was running after him, and I think like Chris was behind, and like they do this interesting, like, I don't want to say like martial arts gun dance tango thing that they do, but it was like a really well animated scene. Like all the action in this episode was so well animated, so
Yeah.
fluid. And like I don't know, I just loved like the different dynamic camera angles that they shot with, and how the camera moved around. I thought that was it was so well done. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I rewound it just to watch it again because I really liked it.
You're like, I gotta rewatch this. Maybe the plane fight too. Who
Oh yeah,
knows?
and so they end up taking off, and Axel. I'm starting to wonder if Axel has like superhuman powers, because when he jumps off that building,
Yeah.
he jumps like really far, and then he grabs on the helicopter, and he's hanging on the helicopter for quite some time with one arm. By the
Yeah.
way, one arm, and he's just hanging on there. Like, I was like, he must have some like really good finger strength, and maybe
Yeah,
work
he
on his
does.
arms. Like, he is just like really good,
Yeah, I mean, we saw those push-ups from the first episode where he was sitting there doing all the push-ups and stuff to make sure like his arms and stuff were huge.
Oh, like the handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
So what happens next after they get onto the helicopter?
After they get into the helicopter,
Yeah.
uh, well, we find out that the helicopter is actually supposed to be like a regular old helicopter without like tricks and things. Like that's how it was supposed to be set up. And is you said his name is Sam?
I think his name is Sam. Yeah.
Okay. Starts like kicking the shit out of this machine, trying to get it to listen to him. So it does start like veering off course, trying to shake Axel off, and some other stuff. And inadvertently, I feel like he just did something stupid enough where he broke it, where it actually went down.
Yeah.
But we have where like basically Axel does kind of get shaken off, and that's when we get this really cool red like uh, rocket drone that Axel can get on, and it has guns and stuff inside of it too that he can pull out.
No, the gun was like duct taped onto the drone.
Oh, I thought it like
Yeah.
I thought something had moved out where he could get into it.
No, like he jumps onto it, and I think Leland points down, like, "Hey, like look down on the drone, and you can see it. It's like they duct taped it to the back of the drone."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought there was a little like armory hatch on the drone.
yeah. No, it's like duct taped onto the drone. I
Yeah.
think it is what it looked like. Yeah,
So
which
then the plane keeps going. It hits the water, and we see it kind of like go underneath a bridge, and then it kind of does that one last hurrah as it's going down like the Titanic. And we have where Visionary and the other guy, are trying to climb up, and we find out that Visionary has a locket. So
hmm
I think even though he was the one putting the money away, he was also the one that had the code to give Sam the way to be able to do all that stuff that he did.
yeah, because they were like doing like insider trading. I think it was,
Yeah, yeah.
if I remember correctly.
And while like Sam is like the main Doctor 909, I really think it was him and part of his posse that probably were doing it.
Yeah.
And so it was probably more of a collective Doctor 909, but
See, I thought it was just Visionary because it seemed like Sam didn't know about the necklace and all that stuff.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think Sam knew about the necklace. I think though what Visionary did was give him the tools to be able to know
Uh-huh.
all that stuff. And he was going through Visionary, which is why he was a part of a lot of stuff with him.
Yeah,
But it was because more so, I don't think Visionary really knew how to do a bunch of that stuff. At least not to the level that like Sam and the part of the other guys did.
yeah. And so they're like, "Look, you tell us where Skinner is, we'll let you live and give us the necklace." And then Sam's like, "Oh no, no, we can't give him a necklace." And they're like, "Well, we can let you die, or you can give us the stuff that we want." And
Yeah,
so he easily gives it up.
yeah,
He gives
yeah.
it up, and they kind of save the day. Here's my one complaint with the show. So they're
This
like,
episode,
in this episode,
okay,
it's more storyline based,
yeah,
but when Sam and Visionary are getting like taken away in like the police cars
yeah,
and like arrested, they're like,
yeah,
oh, they got arrested for like insider trading and like I think like money laundering or something like that. I can't remember
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Why did they not get dinged for like sexual assault and like drugging of people?
They couldn't prove it.
I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of unconscious women in that room.
That's true, but none of them actually had anything done to them. I
Yeah,
think
that we know of. That we know
I
of.
think I think really a lot of it is a lot of people can't really or don't really like want to say too much, and they didn't want to add that extra layer underneath it. Um, they just focused on like what the big thing was for this.
Yeah.
So
And so they end up getting all the information and stuff like that, and we end up finding out that this one specific company knew about the effects of Hapna and were working with Skinner, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we cut from that to a bunch of monkeys and a bunch of tubes, and one of them dies.
Yeah.
So like,
So I counted this tube. We
yeah.
didn't get all of them, but it was like 20. It was like 20 tubes. And at the end of the thing, it said we had 24 days left. So I'm really wondering if there were more tubes that we couldn't see, and that these are all set up for to know every day when one of these things are going to die.
Ooh, interesting. And that's interesting to think about, you know?
Yeah, like that's how you know your time limit. Like, this is how many days we have.
This is how many monkeys we got.
But I don't 100% know, because one thing still, like, I think I'm gonna hold strong on it for this episode. Maybe next episode it'll break of it, but I still think that Hopna probably isn't exactly the same thing, and we're gonna find out next episode that this thing with the monkey is not exactly straight Hopna related.
I'm going to say the monkeys are the cause of the virus.
So they lied. We didn't really have a month to live, only 28 days.
You know, it's kind of like the 12 Monkeys. You ever seen that movie where like the monkeys end up like, I think, causing like the virus and like the world ending or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of. I was like, oh, where's fucking Bruce Willis when you need him? But yeah, no, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't really have any real theories about what's going to happen, but I just know that we have to find Skinner still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I I really like this episode. It was it was a really nice, like, well done, well paced episode. I felt like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it went by a lot faster than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because they didn't really they kind of like put the action kind of right in the middle of the episode.
I don't know, because I think it was really just that whole, like, them going through the whole thing. So you were just sitting there like, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Compared to some of the other ones, you're like, okay, well, what do I have to look forward that episode? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It didn't really feel like formulaic in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, I love the bit of. I thought it was funny because it kind of reminded me of like Dragon Ball when they dressed up Goku like a girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the vibes I got when they like dressed Leland up like a girl. I really thought they were gonna like reveal to like the bad guys that he was a boy the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I thought he like, nah, suckers, you can't get me. But no, he stayed in character like the
Yeah,
whole
the
time.
whole time.
The whole time he stayed in character and didn't take off his wig, didn't take off his dress,
Yeah.
was wearing his heels.
And we
Like,
only had that one mishap where, like, the guy love tapped his fake boobs or whatever.
oh yeah, that was funny.
And, like, that was it. Like, I was expecting at some point the wig was going to come off, and it never did.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. I liked the comedy in it. Like, it was very subtle. I love the interactions between our heroes and each other. Like, I feel like they're definitely becoming a team in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It was just a very well done episode. I felt like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I still want to know more about the other characters and like what their backstories were, because I feel like, I don't know if you took this away, but was Chris probably like a drug addict? That's why she wasn't really affected by the drugs. I don't know. It's
I
like,
I would say no. I would say it probably went in with the spy stuff.
okay,
Being able to not, like, you know, succumb to any of that stuff. So she's probably trained
but we don't know if
to
she's actually a
not be
spy.
affected. This is true. This is just going off of that
Well, what
theory.
she's, yeah,
Or maybe like she'd already taken something to like counteract part of that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah, or maybe she was smart enough not to
It's
actually
kind of
drink the
like
drink.
it's kind of like 007 with one to drink shaken and not stirred.
Yeah.
Because when it gets shaken, then it's all down, and then they put the ice in after. And so when he sips, it's just water on top instead of getting drunk.
Yeah.
So, maybe she had some kind of spy little tip like that we just didn't know or whatever. But, I mean, until we know, we're not going to know.
Yeah, we're not going to know. We're not going to know until you know. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So,
definitely fun episode.
yeah.
Go ahead.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to. I wonder if we can actually get to the end because I think the next episodes are going to be like well, each week like the new episode is going to pop off. So I wonder if we can keep it with recording time, like a recording schedule,
Yeah.
and see like if we can actually make each week to like see if we can. Because I don't remember what days these come out at for each week.
Yeah.
I think we have like 13 episodes within this season. I don't know if it's a single season or not, but I'm interested to see where this goes and if it stays this level of quality. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, with 13 episodes and with a definite like like time crunch in a sense for our heroes, it's got to be like a solid episode like each week, right? I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't see this much going over into like a season 2 though, unless it's a
No.
completely new topic, and then that'll be kind of weird for how they'll do it.
Yeah, that'll be kind of weird. I think this is probably like a one and done season.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
I could see 2 seasons, but that's if we get done with these seasons
We'd be
in like the
like,
middle of the time.
what if it's like, oh, they have like 10 days left to
Yeah.
find Skinner? Like, oh, season 2, let's go.
They're going to pull a freaking Squid Games on us.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, no, this is a fun episode. Where can they catch you, Jen?
You can catch me just about everywhere on Instagram at Jen's Infinite Library, Otakuology on Instagram, Barge Tavern on Instagram, and you can message me whenever you like.
You can catch me on the Otaku Mike on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our podcast, rate and review the podcast. It helps people find our show. And we would love to hear some feedback from you. What do you think of this episode coverage so far? What would you like for us to cover going forward after Lazarus? Let us know, and we'll put it to a vote. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.